All right, guys, we're going to do section 5 in chapter 4, talk about scatter plots and lines of fit. So previously, we talked about how to write linear equations given a point and the slope. And we did that in slope-intercept form and point-slope form. We did it with parallel lines. We did it with perpendicular lines. So now we're going to apply that information, and we're going to investigate relationships between quantities by using points on scatter plots. We'll talk about what all that means and use lines of fit to make and evaluate predictions. So some of the new vocabulary that you'll see is bivariate data, scatter line of fit, and linear interpolation. So this is just like an example here. This graph shows the number of people from the United States who travel to other countries. The points do not all lie on the same line. However, you may be able to draw a line that is close to all the points. That line would show a relationship between the year X and the number of travelers each year. Generally, international travel has increased. You can see as you move from left to right on this graph, the points generally go up. Now you could draw a line of best fit would be a line that goes through or near most of the points. Okay, something like that. And you just have to estimate it. There's no perfect way to do it right now. It's beyond the scope of this class how to do that. What you do not want to do is like try to connect all the points with jagged lines like that. Obviously a line like that or like that, those do not go near the points. Okay, so you want to draw a line that's near most of the points as possible, as many of the points as possible. Okay, so when we investigate relationships using scatter plots, here's what we got to do. Data with two variables are called bivariate data, just like a bicycle has two wheels. Bi means two. So bivariate data means two variables. A scatter plot shows the relationship between a set of data with two variables, and we graph those as ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Scatter plots are used to investigate a relationship between two quantities. Now, if you look at the scatter plot, a positive correlation means in general the points rise as you move from left to right, and your line would be an increasing line with positive slope. A negative correlation, the points generally go downward from left to right, and the line of best fit would have a negative slope. A scatter plot with no correlation would just have points everywhere, and you can't really determine a general direction of the points. They don't look like they really go up or down. They're just kind of all over the place. Okay, so here's our first example on how to evaluate a correlation. Determine whether the graph shows a positive, negative, or no correlation. If there is a positive or negative correlation, describe its meaning in the situation. So look here, you have bivariate data because there's two variables, X, which would be the hours, and Y, which would be the wages. Now, if you look at the points and you move left to right on the graph, the points generally go which way? Up. Now, they don't form a perfect line, and they don't have to. We're just looking in general, which direction do the points go? They generally go up, so we would call that a positive correlation. Now, how you interpret it is that in this situation, as the number of hours increases, the wages typically go up as well. Now, we're going to use words like typically or usually or in general because it's not an exact science here. I mean, they don't go up in a perfect straight line, but in general, they go up. And you usually talk about the variable on the horizontal axis and then the variable on the vertical axis, like I did here. As the number of hours worked increases, the wages usually increase as well. Okay, so here's one for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video and then hit play when you're ready to check your answer. All right, we're back. So this graph on international travel, this is the one from the beginning of this section. Determine whether the graph shows positive, negative, or no correlation, and then describe its meaning. Well, here you can see that the points generally go up, so it's a positive correlation, and that means as the years increases, as the years increase, the number of travelers usually increases. That's all you got to do for that one. All right? So that's it for this video. Make sure you move on to the next video before attempting your assignment. See you there.